Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Checking In. I'm Leon Thomas with co host Miranda Kitterlin Lynch. Hey, Miranda, how are you?
I'm good, Leon. How are you?
All is groovy. Everything is right on. It's starting to get warm outside. The days are getting longer. Yeah, life is good. What's happening? Give me some good news.
All good. It's beautiful outside. We just started our next season of tennis with my daughters. I know. I don't know of any racquetball programs here. Tennis is our next best option.
Okay. Tennis is okay as long as you didn't say the P word.
I'm not going to say
Long as you didn't say the P word, because I mean, we can't do it to you, but for guests that come on the show and say the P word, they're gone. They're
it.
gone, and she'll never return again to checking in. Yes, but I'm glad they're playing tennis. How cool is that? Right on.
Yeah,
That's
my
good.
oldest loves it. My youngest, this will be her first introduction to the sport. So she's
Uh-huh.
really excited. And yeah, good times.
Nice. Now, do you and your husband play?
No, no. Well, my husband's a restaurant manager, so he doesn't have a lot of
He,
time for play outside of work.
he doesn't do anything. Yeah.
So, but I love watching my daughters enjoy their sports. So,
Oh, that's great. That's good. I'm glad they're find some things that they like doing, and
yes,
that's what's important in sports. Folks, if you'd like to be a guest on the show on Checking In, or you know someone that would make a great guest, you can contact Miranda. And Miranda, how do they get in touch with you?
just go to your favorite search engine, type in my name. I am very easy to find.
You can't miss her. It's really what you do. If you want to get in touch with me, send me an email to Leon at the leonthomasgroup.com. We're starting to schedule shows further out now. We're looking forward to having you on the show. You have a story to tell, or you know someone that would be great to have on the show. We'd love to have them here on Checking In. So, Miranda, on one of the other shows that we host, we in the it's Wake Up Baltimore is a show that I host with Dr. Michael Zollicoffer, and Dr. Michael Zollicoffer was featured in a an episode of Steve Hartman's On the Road, where they talk
Yes.
about folks that are doing great things in the community. And Dr. Z and I have been hosting this show called Wake Up Baltimore. And at the end of the show, we always sing happy birthday. We play a birthday video.
Okay.
For the last 7 or 8 weeks or so, I have asked, and we've done a survey. We've taken viewer input, and I've asked, would you like to hear me play Happy Birthday on the trumpet?
Okay.
I got my first vote earlier this week. My
Oh
first
no,
yes.
but that means that people have been voting no for weeks.
Yes, for weeks. Yes.
Ouch.
Yeah. I mean, for weeks. In fact, the guest that we had on this week, his name is Jamal Lake. He runs a reading program. He gives kids free books out of a mall.
Amazing.
And I said, would you like to hear it? I didn't even get the question out. He goes, no, no. So I'm hoping that maybe on an episode of Checking In, we'll have a guest who wants to hear some Leon vibes through the horn. So how about you, Miranda? Would you like me to play a song?
Absolutely. Any episode, anytime.
Okay. So I'll practice and we'll be ready for the next one. We have a good time here at Checking In. Oh, I'm so looking forward to our guest today.
Yes,
Wow,
yes.
we are going to have a great conversation. Let's bring our guest on, Dr. Dave Synowka and Mr. Tom Smith. Dave, how are you?
Good, Leon. How are you doing today?
I'm well. I'm well. And hi, Tom.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Doing well. Doing well. So, Dr. Synowka, you go ahead first. Introduce yourself to our audience.
Thanks, Leon. My name's Dave Synowka. I am a recently retired professor and academic administrator at Robert Morris University. My career involved working in intercollegiate athletics as the first head athletic trainer, and then also as a faculty member in sports management, where I helped to develop a part of the curriculum which focused on commercial recreation and resort management, which led to our hospitality and tourism management program, and was department head for over 20 years. And Leon, we go a long ways back, don't we?
Yes, we go a long way back. Yes, we do. Tom, go ahead, introduce yourself to our audience, please.
My name is Tom Smith. I was Dr. Dave Synowka's worst student, probably in that resort management class. And without Dr. Dave, there's no way that I'd have made it in hospitality or even really known anything about it. He was involved in so much at Robert Morris and so influential, especially in my life. So he got me my first internship, and then I have been tricking him ever since. So I've been in hospitality for a long time, and it all points back to the retired man up top there.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. It's easy to be seen as a great professor when you have great students.
Yeah.
Makes your life a whole lot easier. And Tom and Leon, you guys were the best, not only as students, but also as people. And I'm glad our friendships are still here 30 years later.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll Venmo you later. Appreciate that.
Thank you. So Miranda, let me kind of set the stage here, and then we'll get involved to our normal question sequence. So Tom and I both majored in sport management, and I, as you know, we've talked about it some. I wanted to be a basketball coach, and it didn't work out. And Dr. Synowka, you can tell the story later of how where you saw my career going, and Tom ends up working in resort management and has done some great things also. So it's pretty unique that here's a relationship with a professor who saw other things in us and helped us along the way to get into those other areas. So I'm sure Tom, you have some stories to share. So do I, and I know Dr. Synowka does. But Tom, I sent him my Venmo already to make sure that some of the stories do not get shared. Yes, he already has that money from me. And Dr. Dave, if you need more, my phone is right here. Just send me a text, and I'll make sure we get that out during the show. And he's reaching for his phone already. So
yeah, he knows.
There we go. Go ahead, Miranda.
So tell me, I can tell you as a professor of hospitality and tourism management, this is not where I envisioned myself being when I started college way back when, right? I'm so fortunate that this is where I found myself. I couldn't love what I do anymore. But tell me, how did each of you find yourselves where you are now? What was the precipice that brought you to this stage in your careers?
Go ahead, Tom.
I was always good at analytics, and there were no sports teams that were looking for any type of analytical people. What was that 5 years ago when I was in college? So I took a class called Resort Management, I believe, and Dave was teaching it, and immediately knew that I could probably work within what at the time was called recreation departments and make a difference there. So I really used everything that he taught me in the multiple classes he had, and some of the other classes with Dr. Prather and the entrepreneurship class to go into a resort and look at their business model, each one individually as a standalone unit, whether that be golf, equestrian, and then all the things that we've created from children's programs to camps I mean, we even had some great racquetball courts in some of the sports facilities we had. So that's cool that Leon pulled that racquetball out earlier today. But that's how I did it. I just used a lot of that business education and applied that in hospitality, and found that there were people that really wanted that. And I used it from the resort world to traveling the world, evaluating hotels, mainly Four Seasons and Peninsula hotels, and looking at their recreation and their activities that they offered to guests from a business standpoint, so that it not only was world class and 5-star, but it also made sense financially for those properties.
And for me, Miranda, it was an internship I had in the athletic department at Robert Morris College, then university now. I worked as a manager for the men's basketball team. And then there was a coaching change. And the first year working with the men's basketball team, there were some things that travel related that I saw. This can be done better. We've got to do a better job at this. I mean, just to give you a really short example, we didn't have a rented bus when we would go on road trips, right? We'd land at the airport and we'd rent Lincoln town cars, like 5, 6 town cars. Like, what is this? And as a 18, 19, 20-year-old looking at this, I'm like, there has to be a better way. So there was a coaching change. And I went to the head coach, and I think Dr. Synowka may have talked to the head coach, the new head coach, and he said, "Look, let Leon handle this." And so I started making the travel arrangements for the team, and that's how I got introduced to the hotel business. And Dr. Synowka, I told him I want to be a basketball coach. I'm gonna be a coach. I'm gonna be a coach. And the first coaching job I had, we won like 2 games, and I quit mid-season. It was really bad. And he said, "Leon, I don't think this coaching thing's going to work out for you. I see you going into hotels. I see you working in hospitality. Ain't happening. I'm going to be a basketball coach. I'm going to give this another try." And he's like, "No, you're not." So Dr. Synowka, you take it from there and go ahead and tell us what you remember from that.
Well, let me start with Tom, Leon, and then I'll wind up with you. With both of you, it's very easy to see that you're going to be successful. You were motivated. You wanted to work in the industry. You was just trying to find yourself. With Tom, you loved recreation. You were involved with intramurals, not only as an athlete. I think you still have all your T-shirts hanging up there on your wall, Tom, somewhere. But also he helped run the intramural program. And his first internship and job happened to be at a resort, Hidden Valley Resort. Am I correct, Tom?
That's right.
And he wound up becoming the director, I think, 2 weeks into his internship. And he was told, well, hey, try not to lose money with the recreation department. We see it as it was pretty much a residential community with some rentals. And all I know is Tom, by the end of the summer, wound up making it break even. He was hired full time as the director of recreation right after graduation, and wound up putting him in the black and making a profit. And it was everywhere. And part of it was he used his business, his entrepreneurship skills, understanding the importance of tying group sales in with recreational programming and team building. And the next thing I know, he's on his way to, Nemacolin Woodlands, and did great things there, and really was the force behind them getting their 5th star, the coveted 5th star, with his skills in customer service and creating quality customer experience. Leon, what can I say? Great personality, got along with people, knew how to look at things and research, was pretty aggressive sometimes, and sometimes we had to hold Leon. Leon and I would have conversations and keep you on the straight and narrow. I'll let you tell the story, Leon. And but can I tell you the story about the one time I got invited up to the manager's suite?
Yes, please go ahead.
We're on this road trip to New Jersey. We're at the Lowe's Summit, and I walk in my hotel room, and I got a nice view. And then I got a call from Leon. Look, Dave, come on up to the team manager's presidential suite. So I walk in. There's Leon with his team, and have some fruit, wine, and cheese, Dave. I'm thinking, where are these guys are being treated like kings? And then I said, well, where's the head coach? Oh, I think he's somewhere down on the fourth floor somewhere. So that's what I started to realize. Leon, yeah, you know what you're doing, how to wheel and deal, and he really did a great job setting up the travel arrangements for the teams over the next 2 years. And that's why when we had the one conversation, when Leon said, I want to go into coaching, I see myself coaching at the collegiate level, I said, Leon, no. In 30 years, you're going to be in hospitality somewhere running something. So I'm just telling you, you see the potential in these students, and they make things happen. You just have to give them a little bit of guidance and encouragement, and watch them take off.
Those are good career introduction stories, and I can just imagine Leon enjoying that sweet, inviting everybody for wine and cheese. That's
Except the head coach.
amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
the head coach had a room with a double bed right next to an elevator, right? So I really took care of him. Yeah.
You found your place, Leon, where you're meant to be.
All right.
Incredible. So, as the two of you look back on your careers, have there been any pivotal moments? Any like anything that stands out to you that you just think about and say, you know what, I'm so glad that happened, or I'm so glad that didn't happen?
Tom.
Yeah, for me, I remember um, there was a homeowner party, and Dave was always great about staying in touch with us, even after you had your position. He would invite students back to speak for his classes, which I really enjoyed, and then that allowed us to recruit talent. Some of that talent still in the hospitality business from his classes. So really learned a lot about networking just through Dave. But I remember um, I was in a horse costume, so we did I think it was Night at the Races. They showed an old horse race, and um, all the homeowners and members of the club would they'd come, and the children would be there. There'd be activities for about 2 hours, and then some clients would come in that were thinking about buying homes. Anyway, I'm in a horse costume with another Robert Morris student, and I'm told that Mr. Joe Hardy's looking for me. And I don't know that Mr. Joe Hardy is one of the wealthiest men in our country and the founder of 84 Lumber. And so I sort of blew it off. And then his assistant kept calling and calling. And they were looking for a director at Nemacolin. And so I finally went and interviewed with Mr. Hardy and his daughter, Maggie Hardy. And that was what led me to a career change. And I had never been a part of recruiting or anything like that. So I reached out to Dave, and he said, "Well, I think when you see it, you'll be impressed." And so, as he usually is, he was correct, and that led to quite an extended period of time at Nemacolin, which was great for my career, and allowed me to meet people that I don't think I would ever have been able to meet from the business world, entertainment world, and just do some great things at that resort.
Yeah, for me, it was actually that internship at the university that changed the trajectory of where I was going. And it was through Dave, through Dr. Synowka, and those others in the athletic department that gave me an opportunity to gain experience. Right. So often you have internships, positions in colleges, wherever they are, and you don't get a chance to do anything substantial, right? And I had an opportunity to do that, but without Dr. Sanoka's direction, and as he said, sometimes I could be aggressive, and some say I still am sometimes. That he rain pulled me in, right, and had conversations with me to say, is there a better way to do that, or did you think about this? Um, that as I got more involved in hotel management, I remembered those conversations. I remember one incident where we made a purchase of equipment bags, and we were so proud of our equipment bags, Miranda, Tom. We were so happy with them, and Dr. Synowka walks in. Yeah, let me show you what we ordered. And he pauses and says something like, I'm glad you're doing this, but did you get a purchase order? Did you get this approved by anyone? No. You better get that approved. And it was like, huh? What do you mean approval? You don't want the vice president of finance at the college coming after you for this. You don't want this. You better make sure you follow the process, follow procedure. And I remember that conversation even now. Tom, you may have had some conversations with Dr. Synowka, and we're talking about his influence on us, where there are some things that I didn't do right. And when it comes to making decisions, he's like, you're going to go this way or you're going to go here. What do you want to do? And so now when I make decisions, I think about Dr. Synowka and the way he guided. And Miranda, this is the really the coolest thing. The university, the sport management department has a sport management student summit every fall, and folks, graduates from way back when, still show up at that conference, and so many folks respect Dr. Synowka and the others there that attend, Dr. Hardy, Dr. Sutton, Dr. A. There's so many people there that have had an influence on us, and it started with Dr. Synowka.
That's incredible. Incredible. So now, Dr. Synowka, you have to share with us any pivotal moments in your career.
Oh, there's been a lot. I started out my career as an athletic trainer, and it's more than just taping ankles. And the biggest thing I took away from my first profession was, how do we make people better? And on a number of different levels. And that's something I've always kept in front of me. And I've really enjoyed working with students. And when I had the opportunity to, I was handed the opportunity to develop the recreation part of the curriculum. Well, I had a background in exercise science and fitness and everything, so it was a natural fit. But I learned so much when I was putting together the curriculum, taking students. Tom, I remember our first trip to the RCA conference at Mohawk Mountain with you and Bob Bomba. And as a matter of fact, I think the one student that he still is up there 35 years later, by the way. And just, how do I say, learning how to get students involved and engaged and always have a good time doing it. And I like to think that, there were times when you had to have that talk with the students, but you try to be positive and give them some perspective as to, okay, you did it this way. Why did you do it? This might be a better way of doing it, and tell me why. And like I said, I'm very lucky. I have a lot of bright students, and excuse me, that they're able to take off from that. And tell you the truth, you only learn by getting out and doing things. And we always learn, I think, best from our mistakes. And even with me, I've learned from my mistakes, and you just keep moving on.
Absolutely. That's one of my favorite things when I have guest speakers come into class, that I always want to ask, what is a mistake that you've learned from? Because I think that we all gain so much from those experiences, as uncomfortable as they may be to relive.
Stay tuned for more of this special RMU edition of Checking In with Miranda and Leon. After this short break, the conversation takes a fun turn toward crab cakes, bean pie, and Bigfoot. You're watching Checking In.
Announcing the newest show from the Leon Thomas Group, Cooking with Kids in the Kitchen.
Each week, we're going to have kids on the show in their home kitchen, showing us their culinary expertise right here on Cooking with Kids in the Kitchen. If you know of a kid that would be great to have on Cooking with Kids in the Kitchen, contact Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group.
His email address is leon@theleonthomasgroup.com.
That's leon@theleonthomasgroup.com.
Cooking with Kids in the Kitchen.
Renting is everything. It's style at your doorstep, off the runway and into your closet. It's every trend you've been dying to try and every designer you've yet to discover. It's wearing it your way every time and making it count everywhere you go. It's never worrying about what to wear because something new is always coming your way. That's why renting is everything. New styles, top designers, all for a flat monthly fee. Start your subscription at renttherunway.com.
I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Podcast, virtual events, webinars, streaming shows, and so much more. We want to be your partner in all things virtual.
So, all of you gentlemen, if you could share with me, Leon asked me at the start of every show, share with me something good that's happening. If you could share with me what good things are happening, at least one good thing is happening right now in your work world.
Tom?
Just one. That's the great. There are so many that are happening here, but I think one of the most important is we have a manager and development program, manager and training program. We work with American Hospitality Talent Acquisition, and they recruit throughout the country. And it'll have it's similar to an internship that Robert Morris, that Leon and I both did. But that's led to one of our associates really exceeding in that program, and then becoming the associate of the year for Wilson. And then we have another girl, Tasha Brown, who is in that program, and now she's leading our hotel. So it's great to see the experiences that I've seen. I've seen Leon's success and Dave's success, and a lot of the attributes that I use really come from time with Dave. As he said, how do you make people better? I always would use, how do you make people feel? So when guests come here, it's important that they feel special, obviously. And those are things that we're really great at. Some of the things that I personally have to be better at is really making the associates feel great and their spouses feel great, because without that, you really don't. I mean, the spouses and partners, they give up so much of the one they love to work here. So we're really making a lot of strides in that regard, and that's always great news for us to see that. It actually happened this weekend. So the one young lady, a guest comes in, and a very affluent guest, great car. We're doing the rooming process, and she mentioned that she loved Tasha's pants. And that happens. People, oh, you're looking sharp today. Leon always has some type of style going on, whether it's the hoodie or the ascot that he's well known for. And Tasha is very much the same way. And so in the morning, the lady was heading to brunch, and Tasha gave her pants. She took them home, had them steam clean pressed, and gave them to, because the lady said it about 3 different times that evening as well. But you can't teach something like that, especially with someone that is so new in hospitality. And I have some insane stories of things that I've seen from evaluating hotels and from working in hotels. But to literally gift someone the pants, and the lady wore them to dinner that night, and wrote a fantastic letter about it. But those are things that are good in my world.
Yeah. And before we go to Dr. Synowka, Tom, tell us some about where you're working now in Wilson, Arkansas. Tell us some about your property.
Sure. So I'm in Wilson, Arkansas. It's a little right above Memphis, and it is it's in the Delta. So the Delta was really known for agriculture, and as agriculture became much more technology driven, that shifted. So this town, we built a hotel in a 100-year-old building. We now have 2 restaurants, and so we're really a hospitality hub here, and we're attracting a lot of people from Nashville, which is a few hours away, Memphis, and in the region, to our property. Just named Best New Hotel in the South by a little magazine called Southern Living. So we're very proud of that. But that's what we're up to, just making things great down here in the South, and I love it. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you haven't picked up a Southern accent yet either.
No, not yet, but I'm working on it, y'all.
I don't know. I think I can catch a little something.
Pittsburgh, that Yinzer is hard to get out.
Yeah, it's still there. Dr. Synowka, what's going on with you? Give us some updates. Tell us what's new, what's good.
Well, retirement's great. My wife and I have been traveling, and we've been to Europe twice in the last 2 years. We're going back again this September, and 2 of the trips will have been on Viking riverboat cruises, and all I can say about Viking is they're wonderful. Quality is definitely 5-star from the moment you go through passport control until they take you up into the airport. And we wound up going to Italy last spring. So being able to travel and see different places and also get to study, and you're always, no matter if you're a professor, you're always a student. You see how they treat people and how their industries work, and you come away with always, I think, with a greater perspective. From time to time, I get asked to do things such as being on the podcast today, or give an occasional lecture. I do some consulting here and there. So I am enjoying life, and always being able to connect with all my students and my friends, and that's been the best part of my career. Is all these relationships that we build over the years with each other.
Yeah. Before we go to our 2 signature questions of the show, 2 signature questions. Before we do that, Dr. Synowka, from the sport management program at Robert Morris, some graduates of the program have done just some amazing things in the industry of sport. Tell us some of the teams and organizations that graduates of the program have worked for and continue to work for. Shed some light on the success that program has had.
Well, I think our best known graduate was Kevin Colbert, general manager of the Pittsburgh Steelers, was very successful. Took them to 3 Super Bowls, won 2 out of the 3. And then at one point, we had 4 VPs of ticket sales in Major League Baseball, and coming, small college, having that percentage of being represented in that position in the league was pretty impressive. And that was with the Indians, with the Diamondbacks, with the Phillies, and then with the Minnesota Twins. We've had, a big part. We have Bill Miller, who's VP with the National Hockey League. We've had a number of our alums they're presidents of minor league organizations, and everyone's saying, well, geez, minor league. Hey, the minor leagues, it's a great opportunity. It's a growing part of the industry. You get a lot of fun. We've had people who have had leadership at the NCAA, conference commissioners, athletic directors, working in YMCA's, resorts, working in the PGA. It's really been, how do I say, quite an experience, when you look at all the opportunities out there and what we do to prepare our students to go into these different organizations and be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Some great stuff there. Great things. Now, Tom and Dave, it's time now for the two signature questions of the show, but I mean, it's actually three, but who's counting? Who's counting? We actually didn't want to redo the graphics, so we'll just go into the two questions of the day. Now, Tom, Dave, you'll know, because I'll even tell you this is the one I want you to really think about before you answer. There's going to be two questions, and let's roll our little video for that, and then we'll come back to the signature questions. You'll see where I'm going. Play along with me. Make Miranda believe something. Here we go. We're here at Checking In. I'm Leon, co-host of the show is Miranda Kitterlin-Lynch. Our guests today are Dr. Dave Synowka, Professor Emeritus of Robert Morris University, and Tom Smith, Senior Vice President of Wilson, Arkansas. Now, Dave, Tom. Dave, you first. This is a simple question. Have you ever had a Maryland crab cake?
Yes.
Where?
At the Baltimore Harbor.
Okay, a Maryland crab cake in the Baltimore Harbor. Good. You're in. Cool. Tom, how about you? Have you ever had a Maryland crab cake?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, thank you for saying no. Now, have you ever had a crab cake?
Yes.
Yes. Now, where did you have your crab cake?
Well, I've had several, but I've never found them to be very good.
Because you've never had a box or a Maryland crab cake.
Too big. I'm told they're supposed to be small.
That is correct. That is correct. Not the cheap meat that makes a softball-sized crab cake, right? You want the quality. You want the qualities, right? So the information that you have been given is correct. We'll have to make arrangements to get you a Maryland crab cake. And Dr. Synowka, we can get one for you too. And Miranda, we have something else for you. Okay, now here we go. Tom, Dave, let's talk about bean pie. Miranda says bean pie is fake news. It doesn't exist. Tom, what say you? Have you ever had bean pie or heard of bean pie?
I've heard of it, but I've never had it.
Have you seen one with your own eyes?
Yes.
I don't know. This is suspicious. Yes. I know there's a lot of Venmo transactions going on.
Yes. He's seen it. Just hasn't tried it. He has seen it. Miranda doesn't think it. She doesn't think it exists. Dave, how about you? Have you ever had bean pie?
I've heard of it, but no, I've never seen it or tasted it.
That's two. One heard of, one seen. That's a win.
I don't know. I mean, you're all sports guys. I don't know if that constitutes a win.
That's 500. If we're batting in the major leagues, we get a contract for $756 million. What do you mean?
Because I've also heard of Bigfoot, but I've never seen it. I can't prove it exists.
Compare a bean pie to Bigfoot.
Wow.
That's
it is. That's going to make a great pull out there. Yep. I've also heard of Bigfoot. That's a great one there. Go ahead, Miranda, with the other signature question.
I'll close this out. Tom, let's start with you. If you could give your 20-year-old self one piece of advice or affirmation, pearl of wisdom, what would it be?
Oh, my. Talk to your mom more. Always pick up the phone. every day. If I just give her one more call, it would be great.
See, this is the pullout that I'm going to need so that I can play it for my children on repeat every night at bedtime so that it's just ingrained in their head before they get a chance to leave the nest.
Right. Right.
Dr. Dave?
Always enjoy the moment when you're with people, because I think, as Tom said, with your mom, and it's 14 years ago yesterday, I lost my mom, and I miss her. And I always enjoyed being with her, with my parents. And then there were times when, even when things are going bad, you just say, okay, stop. Where are you? What can you learn from this? Because you can learn something and things will get better.
I love that.
Right on. Yes, right on. And Miranda, one other note before we finish up. Tom talked about the internship program at his property, and many folks have seen the posts that I make sometimes where I see a staff picture and I see all white folk, and I say, were all the black people off that day? Right? Y'all have seen those posts, right? And so Tom, maybe last year or so, at his property, had a picture of the interns, and I saw black, white, Asian. I saw everybody in it, and I messaged him and said, "Yes, can I post this to say this is what it should look like?" And he's like, "Please do, please do." Yes, so thank you, Tom, for that. And Dr. Dave, you've always been inclusive as well, in everything that you've done. I mean, even in the early to mid '80s, when race relations weren't all that good everywhere, you embraced a lot of folks, a lot of black people. You embraced us, so thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Leon, I always tell my students, you look for the best talent and the best everywhere, and life takes care of itself. I do have one Leon story I'd like to share with you.
Well, we're out of time. We have to get going to the next show. It was so nice of y'all to be here, and we will see you later.
This sort of leads into why I said Leon was going to go in the hospitality, and you can edit this out, Leon.
Okay, go ahead. Go. Wow, Tom, this is getting bad. He says you can edit it out. Wow, go ahead. We'll bring you on a single shot. Go ahead, tell it. Go ahead.
All right. I'm teaching this commercial recreation class, and we're going up to Hidden Valley Resort. That was, I think, before Tom did his internship. It's on a Sunday. So I load up the van. I'm driving a 16-passenger van up on a Sunday, and we get there, and they have a Sunday brunch. 5 minutes later, I see Leon walking around enjoying himself with a nice mimosa.
I was over 21. I was 21. What's the problem?
What did I say, Leon? You're living the life, aren't you?
I can back that up. I can back that story up. So Dave takes us to Mohonk Mountain House for internship. It was the Resort and Commercial Recreation Association conference. So he's obviously learned from Leon, because Mohonk, there was no alcohol, no smoking, no televisions in the room. So Leon, you had an influence on Dave right there.
Right there. Wow. Thank you, Dave. Thanks for sharing that. No, I remember that. I was walking around just chilling, Miranda. I'm just chilling. He's like, "Oh, wow, you're living the good life." I'm like, "Yeah." I think I may have even said, "Dave, you want to have one?" I don't know. I don't know, but it was great. But I tell you what, he was hot though. He was fuming.
I mean, he did just say enjoy the moment. You were enjoying the moment.
Thank you. Yes, you're right, Miranda.
And that's why when we had the conversation about him having a career in hospitality, hey, I looked at the big picture and said, Leon loves this stuff.
That was great. Great.
This has been so fun. It's so nice to meet both of you. This has been such a great conversation.
Yeah.
Loved it. Thank you all so much.
Thank y'all both for being here, Dr. Dave and Tom Smith, thank you both for being a part of checking in. Miranda, yeah, we could go on and on with the stories there, but just two outstanding people that are doing great, continue to do great things. So this was cool. Folks, if you want to be on the show, you contact me, Leon at the Leon Thomas Group, or you can contact Miranda. Just Google her name, Miranda Kitterlin Lynch, and you'll find her. Let us know if you know someone that wants to be on the show, someone would be a good guest on the show, or if you want to be on the show. Thanks again for watching, checking in. Dr. Dave and Tom will see you in the green room right after the show. Thanks, everybody.